Hey, what's up everybody? Rod J back again. Thanks for swinging by to check out another video. Finally got a chance to drink a beer as today has been kind of crazy. And I'm taking a look at this one from nowhere in particular. They are out of Dayton, Ohio. It is their batch number 19. And this is a double rice IPA India Pale Ale. So something a little bit different. The full name of the actual brewery, I'm going to sit that there for a second, is Nowhere in Particular Promiscuous Ale Project. So definitely more than a mouthful. But I've had a couple of their beers before on draft in a few places. This is actually the first time I picked up a can of their beer, so looking forward to checking this out. Gotta admit, the double rice IPA kind of caught my attention. I do like the can itself with that little skeleton on there. It's kind of cool also. Usually I don't go into much information about the website, but with this beer I'll give you a little bit of a background on it, just because this beer is basically an anomaly. They make mention the beer you're holding is a beer that will never be made again. It is the only one of its kind and represents an ever-changing lineage meant to abolish monotony and clear the way for audacity. And it says stimulated. Well, then visit nipbrewco.com for intimate details about the can in your hand. On the web page, it breaks down a little bit more into this beer. Double rice IPA. Rice can get a bad rap as an adjunct in craft beer because of the fact that Budweiser likes to use it, but we think it can be a part of some really delicious brews. One of our favorite ways to utilize this grain is a nice juicy IPA. Because rice doesn't have a ton of flavor by itself, it allows us to get the alcohol to where we want it to be, which is obviously on the higher end while still allowing the hops to really shine. This particular guy has a ton of Citra and Mosaic hops to create a delicious, drinkable, yet still high octane brew. Makes mention of the hops being Citra, Columbus, Mosaic, malts, two-row, flaked rice, honey malt, the yeast OYL 200, 41 IBU, 5 SRM, and 8.2% ABV. It does let you know the states of availability: Georgia, Kentucky, Michigan, and Ohio. So just 4 states where they get their brews being distributed right now. Let's go ahead and get it open and get it into a glass, see what this one has to offer. Because of me reading that, this review may take a little bit longer than expected, but we'll see as I go to break down this one. Sit that there. So on the pour, nothing really overly aggressive, but it ended up coming out a little more headier than expected. I actually read it down and straightened it out, and it still ended up putting a nice large head on this one. The color on the beer, nice golden illuminated straw color. I tell you, you do have a lot of carbonation. If you can pick that up on the camera, that is racing up there to that head. So very lively. The head itself sits pretty much white, maybe barely off-white, but it's got nice little sheets of bubble action in there. That should break down nicely to hopefully lace the glass, but cannot see through to the other side, just kind of picking up the shadows of the fingers. Aroma, pretty decent. You're getting the notes you expect to get from the hops that I mentioned. You're getting a little bit of a tropical citrus type feel. Get a little bit of a punniness in there. I would say maybe like a little bit of an earthier type note, but all the characteristics you usually associate with a IPA. Do get some of that grape fruitiness, a little bit of that tangerine in there as well, some of that orange. Nice smelling beer. Let's go and get the taste. The first thing I actually feel from taking a taste is the carbonation. It is heavily carbonated, or more than what I would usually expect for a beer like this. Taking it in, you do feel on that hold the bubbles really swelling from the carbonation, but on the swallow it does go down nicely on the back end. Does have a little bit of a smoothness in there. Didn't get much throat scratching as it went down, and I do have the flavors lingering in the mouth now. Feeling it in the cheek area. Nice duration, that dryness you expect from this type of style. A little bit of that astringency. Second time in, get a nice sting to the tip of the tongue. You can see some of the lacing, trying to lace the glass right now. Not all the way symmetrical all around, but you are picking up some of that. Not picking out much from the rice. I mean, they have been able to put enough hops in here that you are pretty much taking it in as a double IPA. You're really getting all that hops up front. You're getting some of that bitterness up front. Not overly bitter. Like I said, the IBU on this one's only 41, so not heavily done, but you have enough in there that it does hit you nicely. Get some more in the glass here. Body wise, nice medium body beer. Again, on that pour, you can see how much of the head that came back up again, and I think that's part of that with the carbonation in place as well. Carbonation could probably be turned down a little bit than what it actually is, as it is ramped up, but as far as the overall taste, it actually does go down well. And the funny thing is, with that lively carbonation, I'm not feeling a huge amount in the chest as well, so it does work out to have a little bit of smoothness on the back end. So an interesting beer. I would say definitely one that's not bad to actually try. I do kind of like this. Some breweries that are making these one-offs like this, is there going to be enough to keep people coming back there to really sustain? I mean, if they make something that's really good, you would think they would want to latch onto that and have that as part of their core. So it'll be interesting to see how they play out. But I like what they've done so far. They have one called Hidden in Grit they did a few years ago that was really good. I think I have a review on that one on the channel when I did that at one of the gastro pubs. So this is another one there, and I'll check them out some more. Again, they are out of Dayton, and it is the Nowhere in Particular Promiscuous Ale Project, and this is batch 19, and it is the Double Rice IPA, officially titled Dr. IPA. So if you've had it before, let me know what you think. Look forward to catching you guys next time. Appreciate you swinging by. If you liked the video, please remember to hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to stay on alert for when the new videos go out, make sure you hit that bell as well. Look forward to seeing you next time. Keep drinking those good craft beers. Get your beer on. Cheers.